Well, if you were bracing for bad storytelling in Dragon Age The Veilguard, you were right, of course. A lot of people were hanging on going, maybe it won't be that bad. Maybe it's just the character generators. You know, it's still Dragon Age. And this is the thing with like brands and with IPs that like you recognize the name. That's how they get you. That's how they get a bunch of pre-orders on this. While Dragon Age The Veilguard is not doing as well as its predecessors, it still is selling in decent numbers because they hadn't killed this brand just yet. But when this game comes out, it is over for BioWare. I don't see anybody coming back to this. Gamers are going to reject this like crazy. We've seen some story points now which are just atrocious. And some of their behaviors in BioWare, as we covered it this weekend with just like the review codes that they're giving away, are absolutely insane. And it looks like they're acting even weirder than I thought they were. This is an unconfirmed rumor, but we will cover it as well. Please smash that like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things in the video game culture. I really appreciate you being here and, of course, growing this. You guys are the modern audience that they don't want, but we love you here. And I also am an author. I create my own content. This is my fantasy series. If you like some of the fantasy points in Dragon Age The Veilguard, especially in Final Fantasy, that's really my biggest influence, like FF4 and 6 especially, you're going to love my Adventures of Baron von Monocle. This is a great series. It's a bunch of swashbuckling adventures from an airship. It's stuff that, like, they should honestly just make these stories into video games, and they do much better. It's available on ebook, print, and audio. And check it out, guys. It's in the description below. Thank you so much. We've had one of our best months ever this month already. And it's all because of viewers like you. All right, so Dragon Age The Veilguard is now being described as a piece of garbage and the tombstone of BioWare. Spanish streamer, yeah, that's right. I'm in El Salvador right now, so I appreciate our Spanish streamers. Natalia Siranova blasted Dragon Age The Veilguard after obtaining a review copy by allegedly informing the company she was a non-binary woman. Now, we reported the other day that if people had been critical about the woke stuff in Dragon Age, they were being refused review copies. And so this is what's been said recently, that it looks like they are just giving out codes if you just say you're non-binary or trans or whatnot, because they want to have those people come in and be the modern audience to tell you and lecture you that this is great because there's pronouns in the game and because there's top surgery. And they want to gaslight everybody about the actual quality of the game because they want, if the focus is on that, they can get away with murder. And this is exactly what they try to do all the time, guys. These people are so stupid and so incompetent at these video game companies that they really think that there is this like audience that will love this if they can just get the focus onto those things. And honestly, it does the exact opposite. In an initial post to X, as translated by Google, she wrote, "Guess who got a review code from Dragon Age The Veilguard? BioWare just sold his soul to the devil. I just had to say that I was a non-binary woman, and they gave it to me. Get ready for mega reviews soon or tomorrow." Oh, gosh. Her comments in the wake of YouTuber Wolfheart FPS's sharing creators who were negative about the game were not given review code. Of course, he wrote, 3 creators, myself included, were a bit more critical than others with our hands-on time with Dragon Age The Veilguard. Not a single one of us will be getting a review code in time to actually give opinions before release. And he said, keep in mind, this doesn't mean my critical opinion is better or more truthful than those who have been positive. I'm pointing out how their marketing works. Also, this doesn't mean the game will be bad, something to consider. Well, you're going to eat those words because the game looks even worse than we thought. Initially here. It gets absolutely crazy. So the gal who got this, the non-binary gal, stunning and brave, Siranova, you are really the best of us. Terrible graphics, boring and monotonous combat. They want to copy God of War, but in a bad way. She continued, the game does not run at a constant 30 frames per second. It drops and screen freezes when there are many NPCs. Many of the dialogues are noticeably made with AI. Wow, uh-oh. Very linear, and the options lead nowhere. False free will. The creator characters of characters focused on the trans and LGBT community, inclusive language in Spanish subtitles. She then wrote, the character move very robotic. They lack animations. The script doesn't make sense. Neither do the quests from one place to another killing bugs. Too much focus on homosexuality, lesbians, drags, race swaps everywhere. Then she summarized, it's an effing piece of garbage as an RPG. Stay away from this game. Don't even buy it on sale. It's a pile of putrefaction created by people who have no effing idea about video games. Uninstalled already. F your mother. Wow, this is quite the wild review. Gosh, the Spanish people are so based, aren't they? It's the best. They're great people, incredible people. That's right. And then she said this game will be the tombstone of BioWare, and finally concluded, if they don't fix all the bugs before launch, coupled with a political agenda, the game will be shit. And Grums has said much the same as he's gone through this stuff. If you look at some of the stuff that's come out right here, they're actually breaking the fourth wall, going into modern virtue signaling. So here you go with Neve. She says, some of my friends in Minrathaus talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin as a man, as a woman. So they're sitting there just like talking like this is a modern time where they're on Twitter or something like that. Rather than actually keeping with their fantasy-style dialogue, it is full-on dialogue that is aimed at just like modernisms. This is a fantasy writing 101. You have to be very, very careful about this. When you write a fantasy book out there, and I'll just as a professional writer talk about this, when you talk in like a thing that sounds like it's just modernisms, talking about not feeling comfortable in their own skin, right? Nobody would ever say something like that there in a fantasy setting or in like the medieval times. It was always he or she. And so you have to make sure that your dialogue is era appropriate. And so when you throw this type of stuff in there, and it's obviously just to make a political agenda about the trans crap, it just wrecks the storyline. It wrecks the immersion every single time. You'll lose your audience. If I did this kind of stuff in my books, they'd be gone. I'd get nasty reviews just about like just my poor dialogue, and this is exactly what they're going to get here. And as the Spanish lady said, it's looking like this is some kind of AI written deal because they just were so lazy on this front. Now, of course, this was the talk about how this gal got this code for review just because she says she's non-binary. I asked her what she thinks about the game so far. It is what she says. It's bugged, too woke, very linear. Your choices don't matter, as we just covered. And there's more to the storytelling of the game that Grums posted as well. Here's some of it. DEI kills quality writing and storytelling. And as you see right here, Panda Hedon, I'll see you soon. The Coon says you take care of people. So you're a little Kunari, a little Riviani, and a little dragon. Yes. And so as it goes through here, it's hard to play video on this and read this. And when he goes and says the next part, that's rough, or I understand that, or the deal to say with this. And it's like pointing out the strengths of living in different worlds. So yes, diversity is our strength, is the best way to do this. And as you can see, like the choice it gives you, if you want this person to like you, is going to be pushing the diversity type of language and the more inclusive and the safer type of language rather than the other one. If you are just like, yeah, I don't care, you're going to get penalized in the game. So you're going to be forced to make choices here within the dialogue. And this is a subtle one, guys. This is how they get you. This is exactly the agenda to try to like manipulate and program your mind to just accept this kind of agenda right here. This is why this kind of thing's exactly so insidious on every single level, especially when young people play this type of thing, because they do get brainwashed. And that's what the woke agenda is. This is what DEI is in a nutshell. We see this is the worst game out there. I honestly think this is worse than Conquered. This is worse than Dustborn, because those two games, while they were pushing like kind of weird racy things and things like that, this one is having you as a player make choices that actually impact the storyline. That cause problems if you don't do it, if you don't push your own woke agenda and don't push things woke enough. So this is hilarious. So I think we all should just tell BioWare that we're non-binary to get our review codes, make sure that we're included, because, I mean, gosh, how ridiculous is this? Bodes very, very ill for the game. This is one of the first major initial reviews, and you could see the dialogue for yourself. This is crazy that they would go out there with this kind of thing, even on this level. But this is exactly what BioWare wanted. This is exactly what the diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda is, and they're just killing their own video game as a consequence. Don't buy it. And let's flatten the curve, my friends. It's all we have to do to send BioWare the direction of Ubisoft. We can just laugh at this stuff from afar. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit that like and subscribe button and join us here, guys. And grab my For Steam and Country. Grab all 6 books. It really builds up into a nice adventure. It's in the description below. Thank you so much for supporting and reading. And again, it's an ebook, print, and audio. We'll be back soon.